Good morning, guys. Good morning. It is Sunday. Appreciate you guys taking the time and coming out and checking me. Guys, first I want to apologize. Last Sunday I was a little feeling under the weather Saturday night due to me spending some time at the church volunteering, which was great. We got to meet a lot of people in the community, but I spent a little too much time outside, a little bit over 7 hours under the sun, which I got a real bad face sunburn and my neck, and due to that I had a massive headache. But nevertheless, it was a great time. Woke up the following day a little later than usual, went to church, but wasn't able to spend some time with you guys. But here I am now. That's what's important. So I'm in the book of Ruth. We're going to go in this real quick, guys. And this is chapter 1. And it says, in the days when the judge ruled, there was a famine in the land. So a man from Bethlehem in Judea, together with his wife, 2 sons, went to live for a while in the country of Moab. The man's name was Elimelek. His wife's name was Naomi. And the names of his 2 sons were Mahlon and Kilion. Weird names. They were from Bethlehem, Judea, and they went to Moab and lived there. Now Elimelek, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left with her 2 sons. There they married Moab women. The names were Orpah and Ruth. After they had lived there about 10 years, both Mahlon and Kilion died, and Naomi was once again left without her 2 sons and also without her husband. Now, I bring this up, guys, because if you look in the beginning of the video, the picture that I show there, I show 2 bracelets which I came across at a perfect time. I was going through some things and God just works in a mysterious way, and on my desk there was this bracelet saying trust the process, which is obviously the title of this message today. So the reason why I bring that up is because what Naomi could not see, and if you read the story, is that God had her go through the things that she went through for a reason. Just like you're going through a process right now, there's a reason. We want to hope that the reason that we're going through this is to gain experience and to use it for God's glory. So if you trust it, that's what you and I would want it to be. But because as humans, we obviously tend to always think and make a pity party about our situation. Naomi thought that God turned her back on her. Like I thought the same thing not too long ago when I was going through my frustrations. But as the story goes on, Ruth, her daughter-in-law, and Naomi, they have this bond that is crazy, unbelievable, where they go through these things together. And even though it was tough, they went through the process, and in the process, they came out the other end better than what they expected. What I'm trying to say to you is that you might be going through a process right now where it doesn't make any sense to you, but if you trust it, 9 times out of 10, guys, you're going to be able to use this process not only to become stronger, but so that God can glorify Himself through your process. I'm thinking about a sermon that I heard not too long ago as I was working. Pastor Mike was talking about how there's a plant that is not only the strongest plant out there, but also the fastest growing. But before it starts growing, guys, there is a process that it has to go through. Just like you and I, before we can grow, we have to go through a process. And he talks about how the bamboo plant takes 3 years. 3 years to grow underground, getting the roots everywhere. And everything needs to be perfect underground before it actually starts coming up out of the surface. But when it does finally grow out of the surface, guys, oh my God, does this plant grow? I can say, because I have one at my job that we've had to cut a couple times. It grows approximately 2 inches in an hour. In a 24-hour span, it has grown 4 feet. Can you imagine how fast it grows? What I'm trying to say, guys, that through your process, you're probably going to go through a time where you think that you're not going to get out of it. But that time needs to happen in order for you to grow like the plant. I also want to go back and talk about the title, Trust the Process. I originally came across that, as I said, I seen this band, which I'm wearing right now, on my desk. And God was speaking through me, through the band, even though I didn't want to believe it. I went into Google and started looking at the 3 words, trust the process. Came across a story, an article, which I'll actually put it in the description down below so you can read it. And this article is a young man talking about, and this is what it says. The Philadelphia 76ers haven't exactly been basketball royalty for almost 2 decades. In fact, my team has been so bad that some have suggested that the Sixers had been losing games on purpose. A strategy called tanking. In an attempt to secure higher draft picks. Whether or not this is true, it has been painful, he says. And the article goes on and on. And it was interesting to me that the NBA does this in order to have the opportunity to pick the best players when the draft comes, because they get first dibs because they've been the losing team for so long. I don't know much about the NBA. I don't watch sports like that, but it's interesting to hear that. There's a guy by I don't know his name, but his last name is Hinkie, who I think he's one of the co-owners, or was one of the co-owners of the 76ers. And he came out with this term, trust the process, that the real reason why they were losing was because at the end, they were going to come out of it looking better, because they were going to be able to pick the best player for their team after this process. It's unbelievable that they do this, but I love the concept. They're losing, and it sucks, and I know that we're losing, and you're going through what you're going through, and it sucks also. But if you trust the process, at the end, things will get better. As I said before, I, like yourself, are going through different process. We need to see our way through the process. Hope that we're going to see better days ahead. Belief that God is in control. I remember listening to a preaching not too long ago by Joyce Meyer, where she talks about that she was raped by her father over 200 plus times. She prayed to God that he would stop. She prayed that something would happen to him. But nothing happened. Just like Ruth, she thought God had turned her back on her also. But what she didn't realize, Ruth or Joyce Meyer, or even myself, or even you, that this is a process that God is allowing to happen. Because at the end of the process, not only are you going to be stronger, but you're going to be better off. What is your process today? Can you trust it? Can you believe that after you go through this process, you're going to come out of it like the bamboo plant? You're going to grow at such a rapid rate that you're not going to be able to hold yourself back. That's what I want to believe. I also remember that in 2011, I was diagnosed with Bell's palsy. That's basically inflammation to your nerves, which causes one side of your face to droop. The side effects of it is that you can't blink your eyes. You can't even move your eyebrows. Sometimes it's hard for you to control your saliva. Because you can't control that side of your face, you tend to drool. They say that in a week or two, it can go away as long as you're being treated by just getting steroids the first couple of hours, going to therapy if you can afford it, which I couldn't. But in rare cases, it can take 4 to 6 months to fully recover. And even though you're going through the process, you might stay with some of the effects, no matter what. And I am one of those rare causes, one of those rare situations. It did not go fully away. I smile sideways. I tear every time I chew. And that's due to the fact that the nerves that control my chewing are connected somehow to my tear glands also. But because I'm not in control of it, they're out of whack, and sometimes it causes me to tear instead of actually doing what what the signals of my brain are sending to that nerve. But guess what, guys? It happened. It's been a couple years. I still have these scars, but I'm still here. I gained the experience. It's another, I can say, something I could add to my resume. A process that I had to go through. I was hoping that I was going to get out of it okay. I did get out of it okay. There's still some effects left behind, but it could have been worse. What I'm trying to say, guys, whatever your process is right now, you might take longer than normal to get over it. Might take longer than you think to see the light of day. But if you trust it, you're going to come out of it a better person. You're going to get out of it more than you even had before. Plus, you're going to also be able to speak to those who are out there about it and say, I lived through it. I went through the process. I'm here now, and I can tell you, it made me a better person. Joyce Meyer went through this unfortunate thing as a young kid. And even though she didn't get what she prayed for, at the end of it, as a Christian, she forgave her dad, but she didn't forget about what had happened to her. And unfortunately, her dad became ill, and she had to take care of him. And in the process of taking care of him, he apologized to her for the things that he did. He gave his life to God also. And if I'm not mistaken, she was the one that led him there. Wow. That process that she went through, that she couldn't understand, and you can't even understand, and I can't even understand, led her to get forgiveness from her dad and also give her the chance to lead her dad to God and see the changed man in him before he passed away. Trust it, guys. Trust that the process has a bigger picture. I tell you guys that you are blessed. And I mean it, because there are people that are going through worse situations. Yesterday I was at the hospital with my cousin because his father is ill. And not till yesterday I truly realized how blessed I am. He's in a section in the hospital where they call hospice, which is basically them making you as comfortable as possible before you pass away. This is a process that my cousin has to go through, and it's tough. I think there's nothing worse than going through losing a loved one. Just like Ruth did, she lost not only her husband but her 2 sons. But this was a process she needed to go through. My cousin is going through this process right now. And out of this process, what's unbelievable is that there's 2 stories happening. Not only his, but even his mother's. His mother is there supporting her son through the worst time of his life. And in the process, she got to spend time with her ex-husband, who at one point or another wasn't the greatest husband. But she got to spend time with him, and she got to be healed due through this process. And if that wasn't enough, guys, next door there's a young couple who the guy asked for prayer. We went next door to him and we prayed over him and his wife. And she's also going to pass away, unfortunately. But he's going through this process. He got to meet us. He got to speak to us. He got to hear about God through this process that's not the easiest for him. And I believe that due to the fact that he's going through this, he's a changed man. And I believe that he's going to see that God is still there no matter what he's going through. And he probably thought that God didn't even exist till now. You see, there was a bigger picture to your process. And you just can't see it because you're just hurting. And that's human. That's something you're going to go through. But know that there is a reason why God is allowing you to go through this. All I'm saying to you guys today is that whatever you're going through, trust it. Believe in it. At the end, it's going to be better and it's going to make you stronger, just like the bamboo plant. And when you get out of it, oh my God, no one's going to hold you back because you're going to grow at such a rapid rate because of this process. Guys, I hope that this word was of a blessing to you. I hope you guys have a great day. God bless you guys. You are truly blessed. See you in the next one.